chat's being funny. Hello and welcome back to realMyst Masterpiece Edition. Today I want to try and finish the game. And then I guess whenever I stream next, we'll begin Riven, or I'll do an update on Stoneblock. So today we'll be doing Channelwood, and Selenic, and then finishing the game. So now it's in Channelwoods. Door. That'd be nice. Oh yeah, I have to change the volume on this thing because it always makes my voice super low. There we go. Yeah, the realMyst messes with my microphone. I don't know why, but it does, so I have to turn it up. Yep, there's the gate. That thing actually can give you motion sickness. That, I feel like, it might actually do some damage. 724. Keep that in mind. In Channelwood, there isn't too many puzzles per se. There's a lot of There's a lot of walking, more or less. Alright. We shall now read the book of Channelwood, which I don't totally like. I have called this age Channelwood, and it is a very different world. Though it is exactly how I imagined it, it is still amazing to see it with my own eyes. Water covers this age as far as I can see except for a small rocky island. Elsewhere, there are only trees which grow directly out of the water. A myriad of thin wooden passages are built just above the water and disappear into the forest. I assume they were built some time ago, for they appear aged. I am eager to discover more about this land and its people, but I have arrived here late and I must rest. I was awakened this morning by strange noises coming from a pathway adjacent to the one on which I had slept. I saw a group of monkey-like people heading in my direction. They had not seen me yet. I did not feel they threatened by their presence. Their response to me was one that I would never have expected. After staring at me for a short time, they fell to their knees and began what appeared to be some sort of ceremonial worship. I tried to speak to them, but they did not understand my language. Instead, they indicated through enthusiastic hand motions that I was to follow them. As we walked, I began to notice that the waters below us were changing colors. Slowly, subtly, they would change from deep blue to muddy orange, then from muddy orange to beautifully clear. I was so intrigued by the water that I hardly noticed that we had arrived at a ladder. Climbing the ladder led to their village, which is about 10 meters above the water and can only be reached by rope ladders that stretch from the lower paths to the village level approximately halfway up the grand trees. It is very interesting watching these people carry out their daily tasks. Even after watching them for hours, I did not understand exactly what they were doing. At sunset, they motioned before me to follow them. I followed the creatures to the doorway of an enormous hut. Strangely, once inside, I found that the hut appeared even larger than it had from the outside. The walls were garnished with bright metals, and in the center of the hut sat the leader of these people. At least he appeared to be the leader, for he sat immediately off the floor on a thick throne. Guards surrounded the strong creature, who was dressed in many exotic, colorful fabrics. Next to the leader sat a very old human. At least to some extent he appears human. His hair, which was only on his face and head, was completely grey, almost white, and hung very long around his frail body. His thin head hung limply by an almost grotesque neck that could not hold its head up to look at me. But what a surprise! This creature could speak my language. Shortly after, I was given a bed with some motions that looked to be telling me to go to sleep. I look forward to learning more. As I suspected, the ancient creature is a human, but he is old beyond his own reckoning and seems almost insane. However, the tree dwellers almost revere him as a god. They are treating me now in the same fashion, which makes me feel very uncomfortable. It is almost impossible to understand this old man. His voice is feeble but wild. He has adopted much of the language of the tree dwellers himself. He himself told me that he had not spoken our tongue in ages. He attempted to explain to me the history of this place, The following is my best translation of what he has told me. Many years ago, the humans and tree-dwellers lived together in this place, which was then a vast island. They interacted very little. The humans dwelt on the ground, and tree-dwellers lived high above the humans. Occasionally, the island was disturbed by mysterious rumblings which happened randomly, some sort of tectonic or volcanic action, I suspect. The sometimes slight, sometimes heavy tremors would only last a short time. Then they would stop, allowing everything to return to normal. One day, things changed. The rumbling began and grew quickly to unprecedented levels. Soon it became apparent that the entire island was sinking slowly into the ocean around them. Many of the humans died that day, but not before sacrificing themselves in order to stop the sinking of the island. The humans who lived through this catastrophe moved into the trees where they gradually died out, maybe because they were unequipped for such an environment, but I'm not sure. This is the story the old man communicated to me, although many details are very unclear in my mind. I'm especially confused as to how the humans saved the island from completely sinking. In fact, I doubt the accuracy of that part of the story. The island must have stopped on its own. Yet the old man believes in the truth of the story as if he had been there. And the tree dwellers... I'm sorry, that's a hard word. Tree dwellers worship him. And apparently all humans as if they were heroes or gods. The old man ended our conversation today with an event which I will never forget. He began gripping my hands tightly, murmuring something about rest and asleep. He then said, "We had expected you to come sooner." These actions filled me with a sort of immediate dread. With much effort, he stood to his feet. I tried to help, but he pushed me away with more force than I imagined his frail body could contain. The tree dwellers quietly surrounded him with very solemn faces. They then kneeled before him. He walked to each and placed his hand on their heads. Sorry. All the while he murmured words which I did not understand. Finally, he turned to me and smiled. Then he closed his eyes and walked out the door and off of the narrow path high in the trees. The tree dwellers were very silent. They began a procession down the nearest rope ladder. As I was descending, I saw several of them pick up the body. He had fallen onto a lower level of walkway and carried away. He was laying down at the dead end of a short pier-like structure. With the use of some potion, one of the tree creatures lit the pier on fire, and I watched as the flames engulfed him. As the strange funeral proceeded, the waters around the pier changed to dull green. This morning I awoke, finding it hard to even believe the previous evening's events. The water is a dull green for as far as I can see now. For some reason, the water no longer shifts colors. As I wander throughout the pathways, the creatures watch me, curious to see what I will do next. They are constantly offering me strange objects of affection. I even found food outside the doorway to the room in which I had slept. This is a unique race of beings. I hope to learn their language soon so that I may learn more from them. I have lived on this world for 3 months off I have lived on this world for 3 months off and on, and the tree dwellers have shown great hospitality. I am even beginning to learn better their language. I have decided to return home for an extended stay with my loving wife and my sons, and hopefully return with them. However, I am sure Catherine will once again refuse. I think this age would be a wonderful experience for them all, and I at least look forward to how Sirius and Achenar will react to its curious inhabitants. Catherine is staying behind, as expected. My sons have returned with me, and they enjoy this age very much. They get along very well with the tree dwellers, and are picking up their language surprisingly fast. I have no doubt that it will not be too long until they can speak with the tree dwellers much better than myself. I am leaving tomorrow to check on Osmoian age. Sirius has suggested that I allow him and his brother to stay. Though the idea unsettles me, I know the boys are growing up rapidly. The hospitality of these creatures is such that I could think of no better place to leave them alone for a short while. So I will consent to their request. I warn the boys not to take advantage of the respect the tree dwellers have for their ideas. They seem to understand my warning, and I have faith they will follow it. Much to my dismay, upon arriving on Everdunes, I learned that Pran and her people are continuing to be menaced by the Coctic. I fear for their survival and plan on returning to her shortly, after checking on Sirius and Achenar here. See Evidence Journal for more information. Again, I want to know more about Everdunes. Did I already do Channelwood? I feel like I might have already done Channelwood. No, I did mechanical and stone ship. Yeah. Uh, After watching Sirius and Nakano, I see they are handling things very well, and I think I can put to rest any fears about leaving them in Channelwood again, and for a little longer time. The tree dwellers seem slightly distressed that I am leaving, but are happy that Sirius and Nakano are staying behind again. I have been gone for over 3 days, and have been to many different places. I had to tell Sirius and Nakano about Pran's death today, and they were visibly shaken. Although they only remembered her from childhood, Catherine has suggested that it would be wise for Sirius and Nakano to leave Channelwood for a while, and I have to agree. They will be returning with me when I leave again. I have told my sons that they will be returning with me in 2 days. Crap! And that was a clap, sorry. I have told my sons that they will be returning with me in 2 days. They spent the entire night telling me of an adventure they experienced in my absence, and it was rather remarkable. It seems they constructed a boat with the creatures and traveled some ways out into the surrounding waters. Boat. I enjoy hearing them talk excitedly of their adventures, and am reminded of my own adventures as a child. I finally understand why the tree dwellers have been giving me their many inks and insisting I write with them. Looking through some of the past entries, I see now that the inks have changed from black, I thought they were, to various different colors. I have shown some of the creatures my journal, and they laughed and howled. I do not know how they had such a sense of humor. Even now, as I look through this very colorful journal, I cannot help but laugh myself. We will be returning tomorrow, so my sons are with the creatures for the last night here. They have told me they would like to come to Channelwood again, and I also asked if they can visit some other ages alone. Though I will have to think over the request, I believe that they have proven to me that they are trustworthy and responsible. Catherine will also have to help me decide whether they are ready for travel alone. For now, I must give my farewells to the creatures, for I do not know how long it will be until I visit this age again. Yep. Alright. 724. Every once in a while I'll try jumping, and I don't know why. I just try it. Go here. God dang it. I don't even know if this is the right code. No, it's not. I entered the wrong code. Don't mind that. 724. Boom. Ba-doom. Ba-doom. Ba. Ba-doom. Ba. Ba-doom. Ba. I timed that very well. Many yawns. Okay. So the first thing that I want to set up while I'm down here is the water things. No reason to go that way. I'll go there. And then I need to change the path over here to be correct. Yes, this one needs to be this way. Okay. So now I only need to switch this one or this one. And I want it to be Cameron. Let me go that way. And I want it to be that way. Yep, okay. Now I'm wondering if this is a bug, but if I remember correctly, I had to pull this thing down, which would then start the windmill, or unlock the windmill, beginning to pump water into this thing, turn this, and then it goes. But somehow it's already pumping water into here, and I don't know why, because it's not supposed to, but yeah. Alright, we go this way. Packet loss is pretty high, so I'm gonna walk. That means the Wi-Fi is a little bit down today. May have a way of getting a better graphics card, but I'm not sure. We'll see. I missed the Best Buy thing. My fault. But it looked a bit sketchy, so I ignored it. That was my bad. I probably should have paid more attention to it. Both me and my dad were both like, yeah, this is... we didn't trust it, so we just ignored it. Bad idea. It was actually very useful. If I remember correctly, there's a telescope out here. I think it's on this one. Or not. Or not. But the ocean is very nice. Oh, I can't wait to play Exile, but we have to get through this and Riven. Okay. Now we want to head down, and this is one of the features that I love about realMyst, is that you can just do this. It's like a speed down, so you don't have to deal with walking down the entire thing. I don't think that's in the VR version, but I'm not sure. Before we do that, we want to do something else. I'm going to change this to here. And this to here. And then we can watch this pop up. Pretty cool. Or if we don't want to go there just yet, we actually want to grab a page before we leave. So that is the way to leave, but we haven't totally grabbed the page yet. Oh, I passed it. Yeah. So, but before I do grab the page, I want to change this so that we can leave easily. Yeah, the thing is they would only need to cut down like a few of the trees to get like a lot of wood, because these trees are massive. So I think this is like a metal cable. Speed. Hip speed. Yeah, the thing is you can't actually touch your mouse when you do that, or it'll break the speed. So you do not want to mess on your sketch, or it will just totally demolish your sketch. Channelwood is a fairly easy age. All I have to do is just grab a page and stuff, and then we're out of here. Like I said, it is very easy. This is Sirius's chamber. Ah. In very plain view on Myst, and access can be if the simple first locate switches on the island, turn all of these switches to the on position, go to the dock, and switch the marker switch to the off position. That is what it says. Moldy cheese. Moldy cheese looks bad. Moldy cheese looks very bad. Very bad. I don't know why I squatted to open that door, but I did. Squat. Can I actually squat? No, I can't. Alright, so now let's return this page to Atris. Not Atris. Sirius. Yes. So in Myst, there are 4 endings. 3 that are bad, 1 that is good. The 3 that are bad, there's not much else to them, to be honest. So, yeah. Right, I gotta switch this real quick so I can actually access the way back. I need power, don't I? Oh, that's right. Speed Boy walking. It's in every single one of the Myst games. And it's in every Cyan game, actually. Might be in any game at all, so. Alright, to use this elevator, we gotta turn on the power, but to do so, we gotta. I wish it'd make a thump noise, but it don't. I wish it did, though. It'd be nice, just like this massive thump. You don't ever hear like nice thump noises anymore, though. People say that they're playing a lot. I don't know why they don't use them. You have the classic, Black Ops rocket launcher. Thump, thump, thump. Or is it the grenade? It might be the grenade launcher. It's one of the two. Alright, time for another wacko speech.
With each page I can see more clearly. Soon, free from this horrible prison, this book. You must visit the one remaining age which you have not. Confident that my brother Akana is demented. He is guilty. He took advantage of the freedom our father had given us. Akana began to I ask you again. Do not retrieve the blue pages. He will destroy both myself and you, just as he destroyed the other pages of Myst. Never will escape. You must simply bring the red page. The story that your wisdom. You will see that I am innocent and he is guilty. This forgotten island long ago. I will owe you my life, and you will be greatly rewarded.
So, I'm guessing what Atris did was he did actually tear the pages out before they went into the ages themselves. So the books became unstable, unusable, but they still used them and became trapped in a kind of a limbo area of the fissure, but also at the same time stuck in the age itself. A weird half area. And then, once we come along and free them from that limbo for returning the other four pages, we haven't restored the full linking capability of the book, but we have restored the actual premise of the ages itself, allowing them to travel and find the rest of this world. Or, when we did, it made something shift inside the world, allowing them to get to a new area of the age. Basically, making the rest of Spire. Like, for Spire, for all we know, Sirius could have been trapped just near on the top of the Spire. And then when we finally got all of the pages, not all of them, but 4 of them, and it shifted a certain crystal or rock for Atris or Sirius to explore the rest of what's it called? Spire. Because the thing is that it was like around 15 years maybe after the events of Myst that 4 take place. Because, I mean, they have a kid and she's like, what, 12, 13? Something like that. And then there's also Riven, and a few years might take place before and after Exile and stuff like that. So you have a good 15 years. So a good majority of that 20-year span that they were there could have just been them discovering everything they have now. Essentially, I've just explained how the ages work. The linking books worked. Because we know that Atris did actually see the ages when he wrote them. So it would make sense that when they linked in, they were put into a limbo area because the 4 of the pages were gone. They didn't have... I didn't switch this one. And then... yeah, finally. They didn't have... They didn't have a way to link through to the other side because 4 of the descriptive pages for locating Spire and Haven were gone. They weren't able to. But now that you return 4 of the pages, there's enough for a location to be grabbed of the ages. And I'm guessing the red and blue pages that are next to the book for Dunny is the prison pages. When you put them in, it automatically links you to a prison. But because you didn't insert those in the winning version, you're fine. You don't actually get to go into a prison, and they're still kept there without a way to get out because there's no linking book. Like I said, I just explained how in the world their prisons are made. Oh wow, there's like carvings on the side of this thing. I never noticed this. Strange. Nope, nothing that way. I was just checking, because you never know. They do that kind of thing. They did. Oh, this was already open. It could have been opened. Usually it's closed. Maybe I'm not thinking about it right. Alright, and this is the creepy place. So, we have the current setting. Second. Third setting. Fourth setting.
I hope I pushed the right button. Very interesting device. I'm not erasing anything important, am I? He is preparing. Remember, take only one page.
Yep. So that's basically just Sirius telling Atris it's time to begin the plan of destroying the life of dear old dad. There's the windmill. You know, when this game came out, I was like, oh, it's so hyper effective. It's so cool. And now I'm like, it's meh. And then I got the VR version. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. I'm still too loud on OBS. Let me turn that down. But yeah, I was just like, oh my gosh, it's amazing. It's amazing. It's probably a terrible Australian accent. Oh, this gives me a flip. This is how we can get home. Yeah, so I think we have basically done it. Also, I just watched the final, or the most recent episode of What If. It's, yeah, I think for the first 3 episodes, it's a meh. Like, they don't totally do too much. They're, like I said, it's a meh kind of up to that point. But 4 is where everything starts to pick up, because then that underlying story starts to begin being placed. Alright, time to hear Sirius or Akinar's rant.
Ah, my friend. Bring in the blue pages. I see. Convinced Sirius is guilty. Pray, do not release him. He will destroy me, just as he did. Innocent bystander. I've been wrongfully tricked into imprisonment. And you have observed his unbridled lust for riches. In the 4 remaining worlds, gruesome plot. It was almost perfect. Final blow to father. You tricked him into believing that it was I who was the murderer. I didn't murder father. Bring me the remaining. Just please. A liar. All in a liar. Must not be free. The remaining blue pages from the last age of mist. I must be free. You must free me. I cannot bear it here for eternity. Free me.
Don't worry, I'll end your suffering. You'll have an entire jungle to have to fit with. What am I doing? Right. Boop. Time for Slenic. Though, the only issue with the book is that something happens to it, which is nice, but yeah, it's a cool story, but yeah. It has been a while since I have heard only silence, and I enjoy it greatly. I think. For some reason, I do not feel altogether welcome in this new world in which I have arrived. But how could I be unwelcome in an age with no inhabitants? It is, of course, only in my head. This world is very beautiful, but I think I have yet to ever write in a journal that an age I have linked to is horrid or disgusting. From the grassy hill where I am standing, I can see green fields below, along with a few scattered forests, and a rather large lake looms some distance from where I am standing. Yet the water's blue can be seen plainly from here. The air is fresh and the sky is sparkled with white clouds. It is absolutely breathtaking, and yet that strange feeling again. Perhaps it is the hot breeze that continues to blow from the north, hotter than I would have imagined. It almost singes my skin, and I feel quite uncomfortable when it comes. I will try to ignore it. Night has almost arrived, and the sunset is spectacular. Oranges and reds have settled above the western horizon, though night has come. The horizon still grows red long past the sunset. Dark reds flow from the horizon and blend into the black sky. Again, the feeling, and I am beginning to believe it is not all in my mind. I must sleep now, and I will need my strength to explore more tomorrow. I have had to return home due to an unpredictable natural occurrence more frightening than I have ever experienced. I was wakened by terrible shakings in the ground and explosions on all sides of me. Gigantic balls of fire were falling from the sky, and I immediately left in fear for my life. I must remember to bring a MyST linking book back with me when I return, in case the one I left there has been destroyed or damaged. I have returned to a different world than the one I left only 3 months ago. It has been transformed into a barren desert land with only gigantic craters scattered across the land to provide variety. Strangely enough, the small grassy hill where I spent my first night remained exactly the way I found it. Apparently the falling meteors did not hit this area, leaving an oasis in the midst of this horrible desolation. The hot wind, I remember, has turned into a rather pleasant breeze, which is at least one improvement. I fear it is the only improvement. The magnificent lake I saw on my first visit is now completely dried up. However, another lake now exists and appears to be quite a bit larger. I assume one of the falling meteors created this lake due to its circular shape and that jutting rock that grows out of the center of the lake. The rest of this world seems like a desert, although I will verify that statement with closer inspection. Though this world has very little visual excitement to offer, it offers much to the ears. Sounds constantly flow through my ears, and I have found where few of them originate. It seems, as Catherine says, I do find beauty in everything. Sorry, I have an itch in the back of my throat. Okay. Alright. Last night I was wakened by a horrible hissing. I was sweating, and the heat was so intense that I immediately dripped my head in a nearby stream to cool it down. The hot breezes had returned, along with a low roar from the ground. I walked a short distance to observe some red flames shooting up from the earth. Suddenly the ground began to crack and a huge chasm opened. The chasm continued to grow until it was far too wide to cross. Then the tumult subsided, leaving only a dull roar. I have decided, however, I can use the chasm to my advantage. Perhaps the heat from the chasm can be harnessed. Yeah. Cool. Even as the chasm has ripped into the surface of this world, it has opened up a whole new world to explore. Although uncomfortably hot, I found it possible to reach a cave in the chasm that has been created. And I have now explored deep into the crust of this planet. I have found a vast underground cave system that will take many years to map and explore. I will also look for a safer way to reach the underground than through the chasm wall. This age seems to change on its own, so I feel I should leave again and see if things are different when I return. It is also important that I check on Sirius and Achenar and make sure everything is going along well. When I return, I also hope to bring back some tools I will need for my plans to explore the underground. The abundance of raw materials here is beginning to amaze me. I have returned with some of the complex tools that I knew I would be needing. I assumed I would have to return for more basic materials. However, it seems as though I will be able to find everything I need here. Of course, iron is abundant, but I have also found titanium occurring naturally. I'm all the more excited to begin work. Everything is set and I look forward to tomorrow. My raw materials are all here. I think I'll be able to have most of my additions to this age completed within 1 year. I so love working with my hands, whether writing or building. I began today on the bridge of it. Although, I think that's although. Magnetic idea will work well, and I have decided to. 3 meters is not enough. Support for the beams, although somewhat amazingly strong. Has to be one of the most prized inventions. I am extremely. Could never imagine it to come together quite as. I doubt could possibly work with 14 instead of 8. Completely fatigued, I am so happy to have completed. Tomorrow. I'm leaving today in order to bring back Sirius and Achenar. I have left them alone in Channelwood. I believe they will enjoy all there is to see here. The age seems to have stabilized. I believe the meteor set off a period of volcanic activity by piercing into the shallow crust, but the tremors have become few. I've just noticed that a large amount of this journal has curiously vanished from the very pages on which I wrote over the last 18 months. Fortunately, I have copied many of my construction notes in another journal. I do not understand the many mysteries of this world, but I trust I will discover logical answers to my questions. I have a feeling that many of my questions can be answered in another age, to which I hope to travel soon. But for now, I must simply accept this world's mysteries and take pride in my accomplishments. This needs to be noted. This is really cool. I like this a lot. So this is the shrubbery shrine. This is the volcanic noise. This is also the lake noise. This is the path out where the thingamabobber, the ship is. This is the entrance. These are the crystals. The clock tower should be here. Go along this way. This is the crystal area. It's massive. Go along this way, and then there's the hole. There's the other hole. This makes the windy noise. And you get here, and you have the main radar tower. And we'll see all of that here in a second. But first, we must go up. Uppy, upsies. The only issue with the select gauge, it made it better what they did in the newer VR version, but the only issue with select gauge is you can only carry one page, so you have to make 2 trips throughout the trailer. But the nice thing that they did to fix that for VR is they made it to where you can carry multiple pages at once. Oh my gosh, it's such a blessing. It's so much easier to use, and I'm happy. I somehow got it for free though, and I don't know how. You rocket. Just a space boat. It has like a little open spot. That's kind of cool. I wonder what they based the rocket model off of. Or I should say the space boat. 59 volts. 10 more would have been funny number. Anyway, I have cataloged the amount of volts each button is. And it's 1 through 10. First row being 1 through 5, the second row being 6 through 10. Fairly easy to understand that. If you didn't, well, get your brain check. Have a brain check. There is no meme. I think I already tried this, but in realMyst or VR you can get up on top of that thing because it's pretty fun. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 1 has a power of 10 volts. 2 is 7, 3 is 8, 4 is 16, 5 is 5, 6 is 1, 7 is 2, 8 is 22, 9 is 19, and 10 is 9. So the ones we want to press are 1, 3, 8, 9. Here we go. Yeah, I tapped out. Right now we can go into the vault. No, I almost said voltaic. Space boat. Also, Mysterium 2022 or 2022 has been announced, and the location will be in Denver, Colorado, somewhere. I don't exactly remember where. August 12th to 14th, and this is my favorite part. It'll mostly be in the mountains to make it look like a voltaic age because it has like pebbly mountains. I forgot exactly where it is. Don't ask because I don't remember. Okay, so it should be. there's not really much of a puzzle just yet until we get to the depths of the world. So once you actually know, and in VR, the soundings for the underground are not randomized, which is nice, because then I don't have to deal with figuring out all the new location traveling and stuff like that. Back notice first, then sound on. Yeah, and you can see the little power pipes, I guess, coming out the back of this thing. Yeah, right there. Yeah, pure lava right there. Right in the face of it. Also, this, I don't know if it's exactly in the shape of the fissure, but it would have been very cool if that was the fissure. Alright, did I even turn this one on? Yes, I did. The glowing symbol tells me so. The glowing figure of lava tells me so. Yeah. Also, the page's locations in Myst were kind of Selenic were kind of reminiscent or foretelling of Myst 4, or Myst 4 was just like, well, why don't we do this? Also, I don't think that's exactly how they're supposed to work, but it it may. I don't know. You have bats. You have bats, bro. We gotta deal with those. What? Where'd the light go? It just became dark all of a sudden. Alright, sure. At first I didn't realize that there was a light switch there. I only thought there was a light switch down here, so you could only work it from over this side. But apparently there's one down there as well, which is nice. Convenient, but on the other side. This is water. There we go. We are centered. This clock tower. Gonna move this way. Oh. Alright, now time for clock tower. Move back this way. I should find it. Okay, so it is a 360-degree radial. Alright, crystals. I don't know why he put the epsilon symbol there. I guess I just thought it looked cool. I don't know. This way. Slowly get faster and faster. Yep, perfect ATU. But I have to get that 100%. I must have the 100%. See, look, what the heck is that? That's a lighting glitch. They need to fix that. That's a little meh. Must have been a fairly big meteorite to create a crater like this. But I don't know. Okay, so it's crystal. Minutes. Check. Water. Oh. Wind. And lava wind. feel like that would have been nice if they actually patterned it like that, but they didn't. Sadly. Yeah, at least the walls in here look really cool. I say that and then this looks terrible. Alrighty then. Sorry for my incessant clicking. It's like a hyper-accurate compass, which is nice. But how in the world did he make it? And then I'm gonna have to do that again. I'm gonna have to do it again. I'm gonna have to do it all over again. Which is going to be annoying. But I'm gonna keep it. Yeah. Yeah, so At first I thought this was like some kind of cool little archway, so I was looking for the door for like a good 10 minutes, and I was like, where is it? I just kept like overpassing it, because it does look like a cool little like glass slit window or something. Also, I think the Myst VR version of this area is way cooler. And way worth the entire trip, because it looks just really cool. Though I wish the image wasn't so stagnant. I wish it was more 3D. Because it's a little 2D.
Hello, I'm Akana. I'm glad to see that you've returned to help me escape from my wrongful imprisonment. It was Cirrus who did this to me. Cirrus, my wicked brother. Do not listen to him. I warn you. He's a liar. Do not be persuaded by his evil lies. Do not release him. He killed my father. He will kill you. Began when my brother Cirrus began to lust for riches. He stole from the ages of mist. He hoarded riches for himself. My father slept away his watchfulness. My sick brother secretly pronounced himself king. King of the ages of mist, he said. He began to look upon me in disgust. His lowly brother hated him. And then Cirrus began to destroy the ages of mist. He burned their forest. He tore down their structures. He flooded their lands. He murdered their inhabitants. Completely destroyed all but 4 of the ages. Of course, I had to warn Father. When I finally found him, there was Cirrus also, talking cleverly. The lying tongue of a serpent. He had convinced Father that it was I who destroyed the ages. He convinced Father that it was I who was greedy for wealth and plunder. And as Cirrus dealt the final blow, he tricked Father into believing that I was the murderer. But Cirrus did not deal as fast a blow as he planned. And his father died a slow death. He at last doubted my brother's clever lies, and so in dying, Father imprisoned us both. Unsure from which of us the blow had come. I swear to you what I say is true. Release me. You must release me. My brother is a deceitful liar and deserves punishment. I only wish vengeance for my dear father. His murder. Believe me. You must only recover 1 additional page to release me from this prison. It's the easiest to find. Go to the bookshelf that's in this library. On the far right side of the middle shelf, there's a burned book, which is different from the other burnt books. This book is filled with patterns. Find pattern 158. Mimic its design on the panel in the fireplace. Doing this will bring you to the last blue page. Remember, don't take the red page. Only the blue page. Return quickly to me. And do not touch the green book. It's a clever trap to imprison those who have not been warned. Do not be tempted, for you will rot and die, imprisoned as I am. I tell you, if you follow my instructions, it will be well worth your while. I promise you that. Go. Go.
So that one was a lot more clear than the normal ones. So that kind of helps what I was saying earlier, but not too much. But like I said, for all we know, it happened shortly after. Alright, we go grab Cirrus's freaking page. Hear the ramblings of a insane person again. Yeah. Also, the colors for why the books are the opposite colors of what is really in them is a little meh. Maybe they wanted to put some variation to it. It looks nice, but still, it's like a why? So, I don't know. Maybe they just wanted to do it because they didn't want the same color again and again and again and again. Cage. Alright, I'm gonna have to focus again because I don't want to mess it up and get somewhere lost. I have done that before where I just lose where I am and I'm like, I have to go all the way back, figure out the thing again. This will be a longer stream. This will be like an hour and a half because I have time. It's only 4:30 right now, so it's nice. You would be correct. It is much longer. Much longer. I still don't know much about it. I kind of wish I did. I want to play it so badly. The only issue is my graphic card may not be able to handle it, but hey. classic Camilla game. Pretty much. Alright, time for Sirius's rambling.
You finally returned. I owe you a debt of gratitude, for you have nearly released me. My name is Sirius. I trust that from your explorations you've become convinced that my wicked brother Akbar is guilty, and I am innocent. It is I who am wrongly imprisoned here. Imprisoned by my father. I don't know who you are, or how you came to this island, but I assume you must at least know something of the books. His father was a master of the books. He wrote hundreds of them, all describing and linking to the fantastic places and ages which he had discovered. The room in which you now stand was our father's library. It was here in this room, on this island named Myst, that he housed most of these books. But such a waste. By now, you have surely discovered that Achenar has burnt and mutilated most of these books. Why? Our father was always watchful of our exploration. We grew up under his strict supervision. But when we came of age, he gave us unbridled access to the Myst books. He began to leave our adventures more and more unchecked. Unsupervised as we were, my brother began to become disturbed. He began to take more from the Myst ages than he had given. Soon he gained a twisted pleasure from the conquest and destruction of the other ages. It was horrific. His thirst for destruction. But alas, even I discovered his insanity too late. He had completely destroyed all of the Myst ages but 4. I wasted no time. In warning my father, I thought he would recognize Achenar's guilt. But in a fit of rage, he imprisoned both my brother and myself within the pages of these books, designed to hold us until he could judge which of us was guilty. To discover the truth, our father embarked on one final journey. However, he has never returned. I can only assume that he perished along the way, leaving me, an innocent victim, entrapped forever. But now, you are here to release me. Listen carefully. You must find one more page and I will be forever free. There is a book on the shelves in this library which is mostly burned but has a few pages still intact. It is the last book on the middle shelf. Find it. This book is filled with a variety of patterns. Find pattern 158 and recreate it on the door of the fireplace. This will bring you to the last red page. Bring that page to me, and I will finally be released, and able to reward you, of course. Ignore the blue page. That page finishes my brother's book. It chills me to even think what would happen if you were to release him. There is another warning. Where the red and blue pages reside, also resides a green book. If you touch the green book, you also will be imprisoned forever. Our father gave us this same warning long ago. I suggest you follow his advice. Go now. Soon we will meet face to face.
Wrong one. That one. There we go. Pattern book. We want to flip all the way to 158. Hold on. This one. This is the one that we need. Memorize it? Nope. Good. We're gonna get the bad endings first, so I'm going to save here. We're gonna do Sirius's ending first. Because we just watched Sirius, so. You fool.
Oh, yes! Yes! I'm free! Oh, thank you, my friend. My dear friend. You've done the right thing. You stupid fool! It looks like perhaps you're in the book now. And what have we here? A page. Oh no. I hope you enjoy your new home as much as I enjoyed it. I can't see you. You're getting less clear. I hope you're in the books. The library looks much the same as I left. Oh, I can know. Goodbye.
I hope you enjoy a new home as much as I enjoy it. Massive at the end. I think there is. I just want to see if, like, what exactly it does. That's somebody's drywall, I think. Load. We'll get Akinar's ending now. The dog be barking. There we go. I always do that. I always click this thing by accident. We're going for all the bad endings first, and then we'll go for the actual good ending. I'm free. Dab. Woo. Deet.
Oh, yes, I'm free. Oh, I feel alive. And how do you feel, my friend? Oh, and what have we here? Perhaps the pages you worked so hard for? Whoops. Yes. Oh. Perhaps you're seeing the world from my point of view. Yes. Oh. Sinners. There's my brother. Oh, yes. Oh. Maybe someone will rescue you someday. You lose.
What? I didn't expect that. Okay, cool. Alright. Sure, why not? So, what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to play Atris's beginning intro sequence, do the bad ending, then link back, grab the page, and then just go in, not listen to him at all. Because we already heard it the first time, so we don't need to hear it again. Oh, come on. What did I miss? That is it.
Who the devil are you? Don't come here to done it, not yet. Oh, I have many questions for you, my friend, as you no doubt have for me. Where should I begin? Perhaps my story is in order. My name is Atris. I feel you've met my sons, Cirrus and Achenar, in the red and blue books on Myst Island in my library. My library, it contains my works, my writings. Oh, I wrote many books that linked me to fantastic places. It's an art I learned from my father many years ago. Oh, but the red and blue books, those were different. I wrote those books to entrap over greedy, explorers who might stumble upon my island of mist. But I had no idea my own sons would be entrapped. My sons. Cirrus and Achenar. We had many journeys together. I gave them free rein to the books. Perhaps it was not wise. I could see the greed growing in them. I had not told them about the red and blue books. Their imaginations went wild. They dreamed of riches and power. Of course, they did not know the books were traps. They begged me for access to those books, and I, of course, denied them. Oh, they devised a plan. An evil plan. I had no idea to what extent their greed had progressed. Their own mother. Oh, my own dear Catherine. They used her to lure me here to Dunny. Of course, I could return to Myst, except they removed a single page from my Myst linking book. I cannot return without that page. You, my friend, can bring that page to me. Oh, I pray you believe my story above the lies that my sons have told you. If you could find it in yourself to return that page to me here in Dunny, I could go to Myst and bring justice to my sons for what they've done. I must return to my writing. I pray that you believe me. Please hurry. Bring the page. Bring the page with you.
Just to see if he does anything else. No, he's in a loop. Seriously.
Ah, my friend. You've returned. We meet face to face. And the page. Did you bring the page? You didn't bring the page. You didn't bring the page. What kind of fool are you? Did you not take my warning seriously? Welcome to Dunny. You and I will live here forever.
You and I will live here forever. These like little post-it notes you kind of get. It's funny. Did you get warning? How did you do? It's like, did you take the warning seriously? That was very funny from Steve. I'm amazed that I haven't gotten some of these achievements because I have played before on different devices. Maybe it's just boogie. So you get this ending, you're just gonna get stuck in nothing else to do. Dude. So we already saw that first book sequence, so I'm going to immediately wait, hold on. We're going to immediately go and grab the page. And hey, look. Birds, first of all. And second of all, it's mist nighttime. And second of all, this is what we have to do to get the page. Yay! There's a page. It's been there all along. Woohoo! The only actual page that is required is this one. so what?
The devil.
Okay, so then if we can do that, open it back up again.
Have you found the missing page? Come, come. Come on,
Want
then.
this? You want this? Yeah, and then he's putting the repetition thing. I think there's an Easter egg.
Ah, my friend. You've returned. And the page. Did you bring the page? Ah. Give it to me.
Boop.
You've done the right thing. I have a difficult choice to make. My sons have betrayed me. I know what I must do. I shall return shortly. It is done. Oh, I have many questions for you, my friend, but my rating cannot wait. I fear that my long delay may have already had a catastrophic impact on the world in which my wife Catherine is being held hostage. Oh, reward. I'm sorry, but all I have to offer you is the library on the island of Mist. The books that are contained there. Feel free to explore at your leisure. I hope your explorations are satisfying. You will no longer have my sons to deal with. Oh, and one more favor. I'm fighting a foe much greater than my sons could ever have imagined. At some point in the future, I may find it necessary to request your assistance. Till that point, you're free to enjoy the exploration from my library on Mist. And thank you again.
So when he means library, he means Mist in its entirety, the 4 linking books that you can use throughout Mist.
Oh, the book. You can use the Mist linking book to return to Mist.
Will I? Oh, maybe. I don't know. Ooh, different background. Now we can do something special. Very special. Wait, what? Oh, here it is. I was like, no. Rhyme. I have named it a desolate age with a beauty that is quite different than I had expected or imagined. The intricate feathers of ice that fall from the sky are awe-inspiring. I feel as though I could sit and watch them for hours. And though it is cold here, like I have never experienced before, I find myself enjoying the change of temperature, for it is like any other place that I have ever seen. Perhaps the oddest thing is the silence, although the wind blows on occasion when it ceases, there is a suffocating silence that falls on this place, broken only by the different cries of unseen creatures. I have visited 3 times and am sure now that this age will provide the environment I need. I believe the cold temperature is necessary for obtaining the correct resonance. Examining the structure of the books is ever more perplexing, but I am driven onward by my need to understand. The great tree of possibilities can never be fully grasped, but I must at least try to find one particular branch. On the subject of enlightenment, I would also like to find the cause of the mysterious lights that shine in the darkness here. Though I never assumed that I would be able to build especially fast here, the speed at which I am progressing is somewhat disappointing. I do think I will bring Sirius and Achenar here, as well as some of the machinery from Selenetic. Achenar chose to stay with Catherine, but Sirius was rather excited to come. He has spent the last few days here with me, helping me with the beginning phases of construction. He too seems to enjoy the ice and cold weather. He is intrigued with the crystals that we have brought with us. He has been a big help as have others, and I hope to be able to begin my experiments here soon. Tonight, Sirius and I found a wondrous spot to view the lights, although it seems they decided to hide from us. After sitting in the cold winds for over 2 hours, we saw nothing. It was rather disappointing. Sirius will return to Myst tomorrow. He has been a tremendous aid to me, and I am thankful for his willingness to help. The hard part of the construction is over, although I have decided after tonight that I would like to add some kind of observation post. I won't be finished as soon as I hoped, although I'm fairly certain it will be worth the delay in the long run. I've decided to take a break from the construction now that the tunnel is almost complete, and I have been able to set up a temporary space where the crystals will not be stimulated. I'm quite convinced that with the right diffraction resonance, certain properties of the ink can be simulated. Catherine still finds it absurd and thinks I'm crazy to assume I'll be able to view ages with stones, but her unusual pessimism has not convinced me to stop trying. I came too close to success on Everdunes. See, there's more Lord Everdunes! What is Everdunes? I want to know! I am fairly certain now that temperature indeed does have an effect on the crystals, but I've realized that the temperature alone is not enough. The cold dampens some of the sympathetic harmonics, but a more active suppressor is necessary. I have acquired some geodes with a pure protected crystalline interior. Thin slices of the geodes below each crystal provide a stabilizing effect and even amplify the clean frequency slightly. After quite a bit of experimentation with the shapes and colors, I was able to capture a blurry image within a book through the link though the link would never work. There was clearly an age on the other side. I could hardly wait to return and tell Catherine I feel like I should finish the shaft to my observation post while I have the machinery here, perhaps tomorrow morning. The lights were beautiful again this night. They had not shown themselves for so long that I had almost forgotten their beauty. I still must find the cause. I'm feeling rather overwhelmed with what remains to be done. The crystals have not been perfected, the shaft is not finished, nor is the observation post or even the lab. I've not seen Catherine for some time, and I long to spend more time with her. Achenar and Sirius. Besides all that, there are far away in the back of my mind the thoughts of people in our lost city. I dreamt again of them last night. I have only seen the city in its worst condition, and still, its beauty overwhelmed me. Even now, as I visualize and how majestic it must have been before this destruction caused by Viovis and Agiris, it amazes and saddens me. Oh, so he does actually mention Viovis and Agiris. That's pretty cool. I am fairly certain that Dunny is not dead as my father believed. I am convinced that there must be some who managed to escape the destruction and even now continue to survive in separate ages. Within me is an urging to take the chance and return to Dunny and to find these survivors and properly rebuild our city. However, I can do nothing until I am certain of the fate of my father. If my plan failed, if I missed a single book when attempting to trap him on Riven, then he has been free all along. If that is true, then all that stands between him and the ages I have now written is the link from Dunny to Myst. As much as I wish to return to Dunny without knowing the state of my father, I cannot risk re-establishing that link. I must observe my father without re-establishing that link. It has taken several years and there have been many dead ends. But I have partially succeeded now that I have managed to view another age using the crystals. It is only a matter of time until I view Riven. At least I hope. Catherine will have her ideas about all of these things, and I miss her greatly. I will return to Rhyme later when my mind is cleared. So this is important. 402735, and that circled part of it. We can't actually get to Rhyme. Maybe I need to actually turn it on. Ah, yes, I need to turn it on. That should do the trick. I'm gonna leave it open. Alright. Now we can get to rhyme. Remember the code 2537. What? Was it 2437? Come on. Do not play with me. Do not play games with me. 2735. Ah, that would make sense. That happens sometimes. You just get like 1 or 2 digits confused with each other. Has risen. This is a cool little area that you don't totally think would exist. Don't think any of them though, other than Atris. Hey, look, what do we have here? And we are here! The coldest age... Well, actually, maybe... Nigalon might be colder. I think we want to turn something over here. Maybe, oh no, right here. There we go. We want to turn that so that when we go inside, we can then heat it, which will thaw out. Some geodes and dunny. So now we can open. It's still iced over. Come on! Finish icing. Or unicing. Thawing. I can't speak. There we go. This is the tunnel that he is building, as mentioned in the rhyme. This is the viewing post. These are the aforementioned ones. We can actually change the color. Doesn't do anything, I just like it. It's nice. And then we turn that button. We hit Rhyme's second journal. Before spending any more time with my experiments, I have decided that I must finish construction. I have brought both Sirius and Achenar this time. The shaft is almost finished, as is the observation post. Both boys prefer it inside when it is warm, protected from the cold. Achenar sits in the observation post for hours, and Sirius is consumed with the crystals and the glimpses of ages that we were able to see. Neither of them shows any real desire to leave. I cannot remember the last time my son spent so much time with me in an age. After much more experimenting with the shapes of the crystals, we were able to get a nearly perfect view of an age inside of the book. Yeah. Sirius wanted a link immediately, not understanding the link was only visual. Without the ink, the crystals do not bind into a particular age. Because of this, the crystals have an interesting side effect. It is possible to change the crystals and watch the age change, while in reality, we are seeing a vast number of distinct, though similar, ages displaying the current age defined by the crystals. It appears as though we are changing the original age. Next are the lights. My sons seem much more interested in the lights of the night sky right now. Their only interest in the crystal seems to be whether or not that we can view Channelwood or Stoneship. Two ages I have not seen in a long while. It is possible to view the ages, although the time it would take to find the correct combination would be prohibitive. I do not consider my task with the crystals complete, but I would rather keep Sirius and Akino excited and here, so we will move on to the lights. I think it is better to keep Riven from them, and so it is just as well that we move on to something else. I will view that place later. The lights are curious. Although I originally thought the effect to be an organic one, I now believe it to be electromagnetic in origin. I think the effect could be triggered somehow. It's something that we'll have to try, and if Sirius and Akino have their way, or will be soon. I've never seen either of them so interested in my experiments, and I do not want to dampen their enthusiasm. It seems they have forgotten about the crystals now. I'm not sure either of my sons was expecting the amount of work it would take. It has turned out to be a challenge working above the cold waters where the wind cuts through clothing and skin like a sharp knife. Still, even amidst the dark cold, they are driven to complete the task. It is a side of them that I have not seen before. Another hard day, but we have erected the first of 3 towers. I'm too tired to write tonight. It has been a week. The second and third towers are up. We only need to connect the power. I'm exhausted, as are Sirius and Akino. However, they have no intention of quitting, and that drives me. The towers are finished, as is the power to each of them. Power will be conducted directly through the saline sea, alleviating... What is a saline sea, first of all? Is it supposed to be seal? Power will be conducted directly through the saline sea, alleviating the need for stringing wires and enabling us to locate the towers a comfortable distance away. Yeah, I don't totally understand that, but okay. Most of the remaining work can be accomplished inside, for which I am grateful. I'm tired of the cold. I look forward to the warm beaches of Mist Island. Perhaps we all deserve a break. We only spent a day with Catherine before returning. We were here only a minute before we began to experiment with the towers and the electromagnetic discharges. We were able to create an arc for the first time between 2 towers. Its reflection in the cold waters was magnificent. We are close now. Tomorrow, after adjusting the voltage, we will know just how close. The beauty is awe-inspiring. At our command, multicolored waves of light dance across the dark sky, brilliant flashes of white lightning that make the display even more amazing. Precede them. The boys are convinced they will be able to bring their mother here, and though she usually refuses to use the books, I am becoming convinced that she will come, or at least I hope. As for me, I must return to Mist, or some other warm place. There is more to be accomplished here, but I long for the sun and will spend some time under its glow before returning. Catherine had to come after I told her of my intention to use the crystals to view Riven. She is not consumed with the setup of the geodes and the crystals and encourages me daily as I try to uncover the combination that will allow me to view a view of the age. Sirius and Akino did not come this time. I must return to Everdunes. I believe that a few of the crystals I left in Everdunes may help me here. Catherine has returned home for now, but she will meet me on Mist Island in 3 days. I think we'll be ready by then. So I think all the rhyme stuff happened just before Sirius and Akino initiated their plans. We get the down arrow there. We go up here into this. Jones rocks. It is real. The work of your hands, the touch of my dreams. I have left my dream for you. I'm only yours, Catherine. Red 2, green flat, blue claw, yellow diamond, purple heart. that is the next game. We'll do it either next stream or the stream after that. The next stream will either be Riven or Stoneblock. We have finished realMyst Masterpiece Edition. In all its entirety. Actually, we might be able to get the Easter eggs now. If I'm right, we should be able to get the Easter eggs. I'm hoping that we can. The obvious one that I know of is the clock tower. Come on. Come on. Yeah. Also, I think the first time that I ever went to Rhyme and came back, it actually bugged out on me and I wasn't able to get out of that little pedestal. I think they eventually fixed that. Yeah, no, in Masterpiece Edition you can't do it. It's only in realMyst, but usually there's an Easter egg thing back there. But yeah, that is the end of realMyst Masterpiece Edition. What is that? That's just flowers. Okay, I thought that was something that I was hoping it was. But yeah, that is the end. I will see you guys later. You remember to like and subscribe on YouTube and follow on Twitch. This was a pretty long one. I won't try to keep it going any longer. Yeah, y'all have a nice day. I'll see y'all later. Bye.